It is now time for ROFC 13B. First of all, Kitten Kitten, the creator of the ROFC Discord, also created Team Flares for the Discord. Team Alien is at 2 members and Team Oryx is at 1. No other team has any members yet. By the way, if you haven't joined the Discord yet, you should do so. Oryx the Lion, Samer Gamer, Object Show Author, also known as Metatonusbay17, and AlienDude321 have already joined. In ROFC 12B, I gave you the 13th prompt, which is there really a strong correlation between the number 13 and bad luck? I received a response from all 9 of these contestants. Object Show Author won ROFC 12, so he got to submit 3 responses, and only the best one will count. This time, 42 voters cast 458 votes, so we lost 4 voters. The number of voters seems to fluctuate with little pattern each episode, and it clearly isn't showing growth, which you'll see in the next slide. Anyway, all responses got either 41 or 42 votes, and the average voters per response was 41.636. Here's a graph of the number of voters in each ROFC episode. You can see that the number of voters per episode seems to follow periods of growth and periods of decay. Right now, we're in a severe decay period. Any bets on less than 40 voters next episode? The first one to be judged, for the 4th time in a row, is AlienDude321. AlienDude said, "Nope, 97 hypnotists are simply making you assume." Why 97? I don't know. Wait, your score ends in 97. Maybe your response is referencing your own score? I don't know. I wonder what the voters think. .976. That's almost perfectly average. It seems you aren't quite on your game this episode, Alien. What's going on here? Still, you're over 30,000 points ahead of Samer Gamer, so you're safe into ROFC 14. The second one to be judged, and the winner of the second ROFC prompt, is Object Show Author. He said, wait. You had a triple response prize. I'll show you his lower voted responses first. His lowest voted response was, hotels don't have a 13th floor, so there is. Since he had a triple response prize, this response doesn't count. Thank goodness, 4.488 is not a very good score to get. His second highest response was, in BFDI, Snowball was eliminated 13th, so maybe. Since this is only the second highest response, it doesn't count either. It was only barely higher than your lowest voted response. Object Show Author's highest voted response was, it depends if people think it's superstitious. Questioning superstition? That might be a risky move. I wonder if the standard deviation was high. However, it is worth noting that this response got at least a 4.739, because your second best response got a 4.738. What? The standard deviation was low? That's not what I expected at all. There's a big spike at 5 on the voter rating distribution, which means the voters think this is a meh response. Next up is Anonymous, who said, the only unsuccessful moon mission was Apollo 13. I mean, it makes sense. Maybe the superstition arose after Apollo 13 was an absolute disaster. That would be a cool origin story. ROFC, it's the home of many crazy theories. Let's see what the voters have to think of this theory. Whoa, they love it! 6.19 is a rating that vaults above the other average ratings by a lot. It even puts you above Object Show Author into second place on the overall leaderboard. Fourth up is Oryx the Lion, who said, nope, every number is bad luck. There is no escape. Jeez, that's really pessimistic. Have you been given post-traumatic stress disorder after the hostile numbers attacked you in ROFC 11? That's really likely, actually. It's time to find out if the voters have immense sympathy for you after 3 pessimistic responses about numbers. 5.167. That's only slightly above average vote, and that voter rating distribution really says something, doesn't it? Fifth up is Ed King, who said, 13 is bad luck for those with triskaidekaphobia. Of course, if someone with this phobia runs into 13 on accident, that would really be bad luck. Sometimes the power of science can be truly amazing. Let's see if that power influences the voters much. Whoa, the power of science definitely influenced these voters to rank your response high. That rating means that you, not anonymous, could be getting the improved score guessing prize. A Doctor Who is up 6th. He said, yes, as I got box 13 in DT and burned myself twice. Now what exactly is DT? It's probably an abbreviation for something. It might be a competition of some sort. Hopefully the voters know what's going on. I might just be living under a rock. Oh no, that right there is the worst rating so far, by far. Perhaps not a lot of voters know what DT is. Hopefully you'll survive. Lucky number 7 is Snoop Frog. Snoop Frog's response was, yes, it's to how many times this response gets a 0. Well, that's pessimistic. If you're hoping you get a 0 13 times, that leaves 28 or 29 votes for the other 10 ratings, so you can then expect an average rating of 3.823. Why would you want that? Maybe you're performing an appeal to sympathy. Let's see if it worked. Whoa, my guess of 3.823 was amazingly accurate. However, this response was very controversial, and the rating itself is very bad, so maybe this just wasn't a good response. Plus, your response got a 0 15 times, so your strategy failed anyway. Eighth up is Tony Bo. He said, no, people just come to a solution without proofs. That's basically what superstition is, coming up with a solution without viable proof. However, it is worth noting that superstitions probably crop up from an infamous, or famous, occurrence. But just one occurrence is hardly worth calling sufficient proof. Did your response get the 3.979 it needs to survive? Wow, that is one of the lowest standard deviations I've ever seen. Also, this is one of the extremely rare cases where a response gets absolutely no zeros. What a response, Tony Bo. It now comes down to Snoop Frog and the seemingly doomed Samer Gamer. Last but not least is Samer Gamer, who called himself I Am Gonna Die in 13B in the ROFC Discord. He said, no, since 13 is a number and bad luck is a phrase. That's an interesting response, and in order to survive and defy what seems like certain doom, you need to get at least a 5.532. Let's find out if you did it. Wait, what? You actually did it? That's amazing! You defied a 74.5% chance of elimination! However, that means... Snoop Frog. You started off amazing with a 6.105 in ROFC 1. You then got a 5.8 in ROFC 2 and kept rising. But then, you screwed up ROFC 3 pretty badly, and you had a meh ROFC 4 response. You recovered in ROFC 5, but then you did badly in ROFC 6 and 7. In ROFC 8 through 11, you did very well, with your ROFC 11 performance being absolutely stellar. In ROFC 12 and 13, however, you did horribly, which resulted in your elimination here. Goodbye. To summarize, here's who's still in and who's eliminated. Prize winners are shown in green, eliminated contestants are shown in red. If you're eliminated, you won't be able to send me any more responses to upcoming ROFC prompts. And geez, a Doctor Who is now the only one defending the left column from total annihilation. I reran the ROFC simulation program to account for ROFC 13 results, and here's what I got. I made an error last episode, but percentages are correct, but the contestants were in the wrong place. This is the corrected table. I decided not to write a script to this part so I can spit out my raw reactions to these stats. And finally, there's no one with more than a 50% chance of being eliminated next. Although SamerGamer is pretty darn close to 50%. And Alien Dude 321, for the first time in a while, lost at least one of the 1 million simulations that I ran. Specifically, he lost 2 of the simulations. Also, his chance of winning dropped slightly to 43.84%, but he is only one of 2 contestants, the other one being anonymous, with over a 50% chance of hitting top 3. Also, only 3 contestants have less than a 50% chance of hitting the top 5, and those contestants, who seem to be way behind everyone else, are Tony Bow, a Doctor Who, and SamerGamer. For the remaining 8 of you, it's time for ROFC 14. You 8 are now in the top 27% of ROFC. The 14th prompt is, what evidence could possibly justify Santa Claus existing in real life? Send in your response by December 21st, 2016 using the form of description. I'll see you all in ROFC 14A.